family, one people, one planet, one love, one family, one people, one planet, one love. Good morning and welcome to SoulCall Sunday. My name is Lisa Ferrero. I am the founder and spiritual director of SoulCall Ministries. And wherever you are this morning, we welcome you. And boy, what a week it's been as we lead into the holiday season with the pandemic still surging right now. Talking about soul qualities and going within, looks like we have the aid of that opportunity, which we could turn into an opportunity to just be safe, be wise, and go within and do the best we can at navigating through. As you know, we've been incorporating a Qigong practice every Sunday that helps us to bring forth from within that light from the soul and also pull the energy of the universe that is around us at all times so that we can keep our vibration really high in consciousness, keeping our consciousness clear and our vibration high as we navigate through the challenges life presents. So this morning we're going to welcome to kick us off, and I invite you to incorporate these practices into your daily morning practice. But we're going to invite Sifu Helen Yi to take us through a couple of minutes of Qigong and pulling in the energy.
And from here, bringing your arms up, floating them up to shoulder height, opening up the Lao Gongs, bending the wrists at 90 degrees, and inhaling, drawing the Qi inside of the body, feeling it filling up the cells and all the organs, extending out again, feeling the Qi in the environment, in the universe, expanding out into the cosmos. Draw it into the center of the body and extending out again, making that macro connection with the microcosmic connection. Again, drawing it in. And extending out one more time. Relaxing the wrists. Bringing it out parallel to the body. Extending the wrist. Bending them at 90 degrees. Drawing the Qi in. And expanding out, feeling it all coming into the body, enriching all the trillions of cells and all the vital organs, pushing out again, becoming a sponge of bringing in all the Qi, all that good vitality. Pushing out again, relaxing the hands, drawing them down to about 20-degree angle, facing the palms to the back, balancing on the balls of your feet, raising up on the heels, drawing the fingers together, stepping down, flicking the hands out. Concentrating on drawing all that Qi up above the head, radiating it into the byway, the crown of the head, and now guiding that Qi onto both sides of the body, nourishing the systems of the body, your cells, your muscles, your skin, your bones, feeling it in the eyes, in the nose, the mouth, the throat, your teeth, coming into your throat, feeling all this wonderful Qi into the lungs, into the heart, into the tendons and the ligaments, into your stomach, into the liver, kidneys, gallbladder, all the way into the large and small intestines, just feeling it replenishing all your vitality, increasing all that energy. Bring up the hands again, inhaling, and again visualizing a purple light or a green glow, whatever feels most comfortable, and just seeing it radiating into all the trillions of cells, into all the meridian pathways, into all the areas of the arteries and veins, coming into all the vital systems of the body and the organs, feeling the nourishment, feeling all the blockages being pressed out, pushed down, opening all the meridian pathways. And relax.
Welcome back. That just always relaxes me, gets me very calm. All of this opportunity to bring in this beautiful, calm energy. And this week's talk is called Uncovering the Soul. And Rumi had a way of saying it, which we put to music, and it's called Come to the root of yourself. So allow this music to assimilate into your cells, like Helen just said, become porous in nature like a sponge, and let it just sink in and lift you up.
Don't go away, come near. Don't be faithless. Find courage in the fear. Come to the root of yourself. Love is a stranger with a language rarely understood. At home amidst danger, come to the root of yourself. Get hold of selflessness. Your ego is left behind. A lover is made defenseless. Come to the root of yourself. Open your hidden eyes. You are the seal on a treasure, and you're a diamond mine. Come to the root of yourself. You've come from the presence of the friend, a a little drunk, but gentle, and stealing our hearts with that look so full of fire. Come to the root of yourself. Surely we met before the beginning of time. The table was set. Glory, glory, oh, what a rare wine. Glory, glory, oh, what a rare wine.
Glory, glory, what a rare wine indeed. Opening up to the qualities of our soul, uncovering the mystery, discovering the reality, our true nature as spirit. We open as we come to the root of ourself, into the full realization of the joy, those dancing hearts found in spirit, as we move through with confidence, with courage, with an open-hearted awareness, uncovering the soul. Come to the root of yourself and step out fully into the reality that we co-create with Source in consciousness and dimension and vibration. Knowing that it's already done in this moment, we step right in here on SoulCall Sunday and talk about uncovering the soul. And we're going to look at what that even means, uncovering the soul. What is the soul? We talked about this a couple weeks ago. What is the soul? And a couple different definitions. One we'll take from Paramahansa Yogananda, which I love so much, is the soul is the individualized reflection of ever-existing, ever-conscious, ever-new joy. There's a chant they have that's simply, joy, 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 ever new joy, 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 joy. That's all you sing. Ever new joy, joy. And it's amazing how a vibration of a song as joyful and bouncy, it just creates that vibration of aliveness, can just flip your mood. And flipping the mood and the attitude gets us in a whole different mindset, right? It awakens these cells in the joy of the heart. And we could start moving in the direction of whatever it is we would most like to be feeling or doing. You know, I know we can get into moods coming into autumn where we don't get as much sun. You know, living in California was one thing, pretty sunny most of the time. But living here, it's not always a bright, sunshiny day. So where do we find that inner light? Where do we find that light when it's not on the outside? We find it on the inside. And we allow ourselves to charge ourselves through Qigong practices, through music, through painting sometimes, just finding that inner sun. Rumi's, Shams was Rumi's sun, that inner light, that wisdom that resides in the soul, that is always there. So when we can't go out, as without, so within, as within, so without, it's the same. But when it comes forth from within, that's the thing we have that's lasting. That is the soul. Another definition for the soul is, as Yogananda says, the soul is the eternal you. You know, I introduce myself as Lisa Ferrero. That's who I am this time. That's how people recognize me. It's how I recognize myself. But mostly what Yogananda would also say is, when this I shall die, this little I, when this I shall die, then will I know who am I. And that's the soul. The one who knows that it knows that it knows, the root of the root of the root. And then I checked out Wikipedia, because that's always fun too. And Wikipedia says the soul is the driver in the body. It is the spirit, or the Atma, the presence of which makes the physical body alive. Rumi also said, on the way of love, you must be very alive. It's true. Many religious and philosophical traditions support the view that the soul is the ethereal substance, a spirit, a non-material spark, particular to a unique living being. So that is that inner source of energy which powers us. So what would I mean by uncovering that inner source which powers us, the eternal self? How do we uncover it? It's funny, I was just writing the word cover, to uncover, but the word cover, if I break it down, and I like doing this, those of you who know I like to play around with words a lot, lexigramming, finding words within words. If you take the word cover apart, it's C-over, to see over. And I play with that with the idea of what am I allowing myself to believe that makes me see something over my soul that maybe doesn't belong there. What have I been taught? And that the same thing, what do I need to remember and what do I need to forget so that I can remember fully who this little I goes away and the I of the I am, the great I am, the soul, uncovering it. So sometimes it's things we've been taught to, I don't know, maneuver through life in a particular way. And until something makes us call this habit into question, it's kind of like there are things we do that we just kind of go along with until something gives us pause and we have to look at it differently. How do we see over it in a different way until we see nothing at all? So I came up with a couple little, have you ever tried to unlearn something? Did you ever try to unlearn something? Like I remember before we had GPS and I would drive to performances every weekend. Several nights out of the week, I was driving to a performance venue and I would write the directions down based on what the person told me. This was before I could get MapQuest. But I remember, the first time I'm driving to a place, I'm really paying attention because a lot of times I'd be in places I've never been before. And so there's a particular way we focus when it's the first time we're taking all this information in. And if I went the wrong way the first time, the next time I went to the same place, I'd be inclined to pause at the same juncture and say, no, wait a minute. Did I go this way or that way? This way was the wrong way. But I'd have to pause for a minute. I needed to unlearn the groove that I had cut so deeply so that I could proceed in the proper route. But it would take me a minute. I'd have to give pause because I started to recognize that those grooves can be cut so deeply if we're really paying attention the first time. And you can just screw it up and do it again and go the wrong way. So how many times have we been offered a piece of information that we were told was this is the way, and we allow this groove to get repeated over and over again? It becomes a habit, an unconscious habit, until it becomes a conscious habit. It's just a choice to do it this way and to try to uncover that. Meditation is one of our best tools to uncover a groove and try to smooth it out again so that we can start over, creating this smooth surface, getting rid of the grooves that have been cut for things that just don't serve us anymore. I remember being raised in the Catholic faith tradition, which I never bought into. Many of you know the stories of how I kind of didn't buy into any of it. And it's good that I didn't want to be a Catholic nun because I never bothered to learn any of the fancy prayers. I had friends that let me copy their tests. I'm kind of not proud of that, but I don't care at the same time. Like I didn't want to be involved in that whole thing. And I felt like learning those things, it was kind of squeezing off my access to consciousness. So I didn't want to learn those fancy prayers. I'm sure as I'm speaking with you, there are many of you who are feeling the same way or felt the same way back when. But it's not like I can't remember things because I remember what I need to remember to be a singer. I remember lyrics. Any song I've ever learned, I pretty much remember the lyrics. So what is it about being at choice with the things we choose to remember? And what would we choose to forget? So I came up with a couple little simple steps of what we could do to help ourselves remember, to uncover the soul, what we can keep intact and forget. And so one of the things, just like a simple thing to say, is there's nothing to it. Uncovering the soul, there's nothing to it. The Buddhists would like that one. Just getting back to no mind. Remember nothing. I remember I had a coach in high school who, and I think I shared this a couple weeks ago, where she would say, if what you did yesterday still looks good, you haven't done a thing today. And that was her way of saying, forget the thing that was so great yesterday, because you don't want to be limited to the opportunity or the potential to do something even far greater than that. So trying to repeat something that was successful is helpful sometimes, like when we're tying our shoes or cooking that meal or things like this. But when we're playing something that is living and moving and breathing, like playing a game or creating, the more we can give ourselves space to roam freely, to explore a whole different avenue of opportunity, the more fun we can have. Because it doesn't have to be exacting. When we try to repeat it exactly, I think we talked about this earlier too, is practice makes progress, but not so much perfection. We might be looking for perfection in our approach, meaning staying in alignment. But in uncovering the soul, there's a way that we can play in this field of open, pure potential. And when we learn to, there's nothing to it. So forget it. So forgetting the good things we did, but she also insisted that if we made a mistake during the game and, somebody boots the ball out in the outfield, or just I go to throw to second base and I overthrow the shortstop covering second base or something like this, forget that too. Forget what we call good. Forget what we call bad. Just leave it and start each day with a new page, with a blank slate of opportunity, remembering some of the things that worked and build on those, but try to not repeat it exactly. Try to create space in the exploration of a higher vibration, a higher awareness, that seat of your soul. Uncover it, keep it clear, and let it float ideas up to you. And then meditation is the key to the one who is always me. Meditation is the key to the one who is always me. By silent meditation, turning off the senses and pulling our effort and our attention into the spine and brain, the third eye region. And we'll talk more about that in December, what that third eye, the star of the east, was all about. Just focusing on that, pulling our energy in. We get released from the outward forms of reality, and we start to capital R, realize the reality that is inside, the wonder of the soul. I love the images Natalia put into root of yourself, as within so without, as below so above, seeing the root systems growing the trees, and they look like they're dancing. It's recognizing that we are that confluence, that dervish. We are the place where the soul resides, right at the center. It's pure potential. It's energy in waiting. It's energy in waiting, being directed from spirit. I found this great book I'm reading. It's an old one called Mysticism by Evelyn Underhill. We're going to be doing classes on mysticism coming up in the first of the year. And I love this book. I put a quote in here, and I want to find it. It's God's action takes the place of man's activity. This is that still point I'm talking about. It's God's action takes the place of the human's activity, meaning we find that place of the soul, that still point in meditation, where we become the thing itself as it allows itself, as we receive. It also says that surrender of self does not act, but receives. So when sometimes when we're writing music, we'll say, I didn't really write it. I just heard it and I brought it through. It's the act of receiving, allowing, uncovering the soul allows that apparatus for consciousness, that magnetic force that can hear, receive these messages to become more clear, uncovering everything that has already happened so that we can get what's new today, fresh new ideas. The new way of being, the new way of doing things. And then beginning with the heart is always a good start. That's another little slogan motto you can use. Following your joy. Joseph Campbell said, follow your bliss. Following your heart. Your heart is the door to the soul. It's that magnetic force again that brings that joy, 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 that lifts us up and enters right in. And then another thing I like to say is forget and reset. Forget and reset. When St. Paul said, I die daily, other people say it in different ways, but just recognizing that forget and reset. If something happened that was challenging and that you didn't really appreciate, forget it. Yogananda always says, never count your faults. It's a sin to call yourself a sinner. So we're all past all that. But those are words, but how do we continue to play out the idea of we've done something wrong and we can't get over it or can't get past it? That's kind of holding ourselves still in that state of being less than. Whether we name it the thing or not, the energy of it can be perpetuated. If we can't allow ourselves to forget our shortcomings, forget it and start all over again. Start the next day with a clean slate. And again, that's whether something positive happened or something challenging happened. If we could forget it, we can grow even more of the good. So I remember getting to a point in my consciousness and my practice where things started to be more steady. And not to say my life has not been without challenges. It's still, I have challenges every day. But what I try to do is keep the question volleyed. My life is very good and I'm grateful for my life. And I always ask the question, how good can it get? Show me how good it can get. It's beyond my imagination how great this life can be. And with that, it helped me to let go of my idea of what good means. Or how good can it get? How big can my consciousness get? How wide can it get? When I put it into the question form, it allows me to give myself permission to not know. And it is in this not knowing that the greatest chunk of the uncovering of the soul can happen. Because you can tear off things that were stuck together in the formation of a memory or a belief system or a pattern. The more we can pull that back into the not knowing zone, we open ourselves up to a whole new world, a whole new vibration of consciousness, super high pitched. Really, it's beyond all the things we've heard, beyond all the things we've seen, but you see with that all-seeing eye, that single eye of consciousness, super consciousness. So there's nothing to it. Meditation is the key to the one who's always me. Beginning with the heart is always a good start. Follow your joy. Forget and reset. Forget and reset. And asking how good can it get? Allow yourself to open, and see what is over your soul. Allow yourself to really look at your life. An examined life is a really valuable life because you get a chance to co-create with Source, to dismantle some things that kind of shouldn't have gone together. Not everything that has been put together on this planet is exactly what I would call a chocolate and peanut butter moment. You know, some things we can take apart and reorder at a higher level of functioning. You know, so allow ourselves to see when it feels right and when we're forcing a thing. We might be forcing something because it's been covered over with a whole bunch of ideas that serve some other purpose, but not the soul. So allowing ourselves to see ourselves, offer our soul smile, our heart smile to everyone we meet by uncovering it, become this, just let it light us up. Like Rumi said, you are the seal on a treasure and you're a diamond mine, filled with light, pure possibility, pure potential. And uncovering the soul is a way of coming home. You can always come back home. And here is Seeker 7 with a song that reminds us, rehearts us with that.
When I am open, gentle and slow, a dozen a diamond, no, it was cold. I came from somewhere, and I will go. Just trusting that spirit makes me whole. You can always come back home, come back home, come back home. You can always come back home, come back home, come back home. It's the place that you know you're never alone. Spiraling upward beyond spirit and skin, courageous and formless, where we begin. You can always come back home, come back home, come back home. You can always come back home, come back home, come back home. It's the place that you know you're never alone. When I am open, gentle and slow, dazzling a diamond, know it was gold. I came from somewhere and I will go, trusting that spirit makes me whole. Come back, gentle and slow. Come back, come back, come back, come back, come back, come back, come back. I came from somewhere, I will go. Come back, come back, come back, come back. You can always come back home, come back home, come back home. You can always come back home, come back home, come back home. It's the place that you know you're never alone. You can always come back home, come back home, come back home. You can always come back home, come back home, come back home. It's the place that you know you're never alone. Come back, come back, come back. Come back, come back, come back. Come back, come back, come back.
Yeah, that's the music of Seeker 7, which is myself and Natalia Zuckerman, who also creates those fabulous videos for us. And shameless plug, I know it's only, I heard Christmas music on the 10th. So a shameless plug, seeker7.com. You can buy our music there, and they make great stocking stuffers. Great for the kids. That's starting already. You're going to want to check back to soulcallministries.org. Pretty soon, we're going to have a new store up on our website with fun things from SoulCall Ministries and the people who make up the SoulCall family. And they'll help us support the mission of SoulCall. And we've got this great, our Soul Squad team came up with a fantastic image. I'm not sure if you're ready with that back there. Yeah, there it is. We are about to launch into our SoulCall Santa and also Feed the Families, part of SoulCall Cares. And we did some visioning a couple weeks ago, and we're perfecting and refining our vision and mission statement. But this is the image of that. And we wanted to let you know that you can help us participate. If you're interested in being part of the Soul Squad, please send us an email at soulsquad@soulcallministries.org. We are going to be collecting money, donations to feed the families. Our goal is to feed between 50 and 100 families between Thanksgiving and Christmas this year, with $50 gift cards for grocery stores. And you could be part of that. We have pods in different cities. So if you would like to take up the cause and send us some names of families that you're aware of, or just that we can help in your area, please send that information to soulsquad@soulcallministries.org. And to donate to SoulCall Ministries, please find us at soulcallministries.org/donate. And your contributions help us to keep all of our programming going. We've got some exciting things to launch next week. You want to tune in. We've got a bunch of amazing things happening. But mark your calendars, and tickets are on sale now for the 16th annual Jazz Up the Holidays, Monday, December 7th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It is going to be live streamed only. It's going to be a virtual concert from inside the studios. We're going to be performing live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in the studio. And tickets are $25 and up. So if you want to donate more, that's great. Our goal is to raise between $2,500 and $5,000. We want to sell at least 500 tickets. So because it's virtual, you will get a link, and everybody can watch it. So you don't have to be driving to Pittsburgh. So we're going to ask you to share that information far and wide and help us to really make a difference with for the families who are struggling right now. If you're in need of prayer, we invite you to send us a message at prayers with an S at soulcallministries.org. We've got a fantastic prayer team who is heart and soul in it with you, praying, and amazing things have been happening. Just know that you're not alone, mostly. And gosh, I feel like I'm forgetting a lot of things. There's so much going on. I think that I could stop there, but we ask you to share us with your friends on social media, Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That would be great. And also share our newsletter. When you receive the newsletter, share it with some friends. There are going to be some great recipes coming up. Paul's pie recipes are going to be in there. I tell you what, that's my breakfast sometime. When I get to have lunch with Paul and Pat, I get pies when I come home, and it lasts me that's what I eat for breakfast. People that know me know I eat sweets for breakfast. Anyway, I wouldn't recommend anybody following that, but it works for me. So we thank you for tuning into SoulCall Ministries. We thank you for your support, your contributions, and mostly your consciousness. And put these into practice this Wednesday morning. I forgot, the rewind. Tuesday, every Tuesday evening from 6 to 7, we have SoulCall Rewind. And you have to register for SoulCall Rewind, and you'll get a link to come into the room with us. And it's growing, just people who just want to connect over the message or anything else that SoulCall's doing. We invite you in. It's 1 hour of community. So join us on Tuesday nights. We've got Wisdom Wednesday, Wake Up with the Consciousness Cafe. Reverend Robert Brzezinski from New Thought Media Network is going to be joining us on Wednesday morning. And of course, any one of the soul sessions for Wednesday night is available to you. So thank you for joining us today. You make a difference in our world, and we are grateful that we can make a difference with yours. Keep your consciousness and your vibration high. And no matter what is going on for you this week, know that you are loved. Peace and many blessings.
One planet, one love.